In this video, I answer your questions, and more importantly, I announce the winner of my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. What's up guys, Reggie Photo here and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Reggie Ballesteros and I'm a wedding photographer based in the San Francisco Bay Area. Thank you to all of you who entered my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. And thank you to all of you who decided to subscribe, support my channel, and engage in this little community that we're starting to create. All your thumbs up, likes, comments, they're all appreciated. So now, I'm going to take some time to answer your questions for those of you who decided to snag a few more entries in my giveaway. And after I'm through with all the questions, I'll be announcing the lucky winner of the Anker PowerCore 10,000 PD power bank. Alright, let's get to it. So this first question is from David from San Jose, and David asks, how are you doing, Reggie? Wanted to support you. I'm doing good, man. A little busy, but you know, I can't complain. So thank you so much for all the support. And this next question is from Ray Ballesteros. That's my brother. And Ray asks, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Really, dude? And the next question is from Allison all the way in the Philippines. And Allison asks, are you Filipino? Yes, I am Filipino. And because you're probably going to ask me, no, I don't speak Tagalog. So sorry, I don't really understand or speak it. Okay, now for some more in-depth questions. Darren from South Carolina asks, what inspired you to start your photography journey? So as cheesy as it sounds, it all started because a girl, when my wife and I were still just dating back in 2008, I picked up a point and shoot camera just to kind of document us starting our relationship together. And at that time, my wife actually had a lot more interest in photography than I did. Actually, one summer we took a film photography class together at a local community college, and it was there that I really got hooked onto photography in general. And as far as the inspiration to kind of start this journey and continue it, the biggest inspiration for my photography definitely is family. My family, families in general, and just documenting other people's families it's really what keeps me going. Patrick asked, did you go to school for photography or did you have another career before going into the art? So no, I did not go to school for photography. I actually went to school for mechanical engineering and I have a degree in mechanical engineering. I am a full-time mechanical engineer as well as a full-time wedding photographer, and I'm also a dad. So I'm really busy, but just a little secret between you and me, I'm going to be transitioning from being a mechanical engineer to actually full-time for wedding photography and just being a stay-at-home dad. So shh. So Stratus Imaging asks, how long have you been shooting Fuji? So for personal work like family, travel, vacations and stuff, I started shooting with the Fujifilm X100S in 2014, but it wasn't until the X-T3 was released in September of 2018 that I started shooting with Fujifilm professionally. So Summer from Colorado asks, congrats on 1K followers. By the way, on April 18th, you were at 1.1K followers. And she asks, what got you interested in becoming a wedding photographer and how did you end up shooting Fuji? So I got interested in wedding photography after I proposed to my wife, and we started planning our wedding, and we met up with our photographer and worked with him for our engagement session. At that point, I started getting a little bit more interested in engagement photography and wedding photography. And truth be told, during the whole wedding planning phase, I was pretty much the groomzilla, hounding vendors, being super detail oriented. I actually really enjoyed the logistical part and the planning part of weddings in general. So it makes sense that I kind of stuck around and pursued wedding photography full time. And like I mentioned in that previous question, I started shooting with Fujifilm for personal work starting in 2014 with the X100S. And I ended up shooting Fuji for wedding photography specifically because I had two full camera systems, the Nikon full frame system and the Fujifilm system for personal work. And it was just getting too much and I wanted to condense down to one system. And if you want to find out more on why I switched from full frame Nikon to Fujifilm for wedding photography, I'm actually working on that as my next video, so be sure to subscribe if you want to find out about that whole ordeal. So Vince from Illinois asks, what made you get into photography, and if you're financially comfortable, would you still be doing wedding gigs or would you be shooting something else? Good question, very good question. So the previous questions I kind of get into how I got into wedding photography, but if I was financially comfortable, I probably still would be shooting weddings at some capacity. I'd probably be more selective about the couples and the specific weddings that I take on just for more unique wedding weddings or concepts or couples that I just really seem to get along with. But you know, it's always been really my dream job to be a either toy photographer for specifically for Lego, or to be a Disneyland photography for like all their marketing stuff. So not the guy that takes pictures when you first walk in the park, but the, you know, the person that's taking all the photos for their social media and for anything on their like print ads and stuff like that. And Theo from Colorado asked, what's your favorite part of shooting weddings? So I kind of have like two favorite parts. The first favorite part is being able to meet new couples, which is kind of surprising because I'm an introvert myself, but I really love learning about other people and what makes them tick, and being able to kind of take their personality and deliver them photos that's really gonna be something that they really like. And the second part that I like about shooting weddings is being able to photograph in different venues and cities and locations that I probably wouldn't have otherwise thought of shooting at. So, and Chris from the UK asked, how many batteries do you go through at a wedding? So I bring 10 Fujifilm batteries. I shoot approximately 6 batteries throughout the day across 2 Fujifilm X-T3s. This is over the course of 8 hours, and I usually shoot around 3,000 to 4,000 photos. So that hopefully that gives you kind of a picture of how much batteries I'm using. And AC from the Philippines asks, when you shoot pre-wedding, do you use flash or not, and just utilize X-T3's high dynamic range capability? So I'm assuming by pre-wedding you mean engagement shoots. And so for engagement shoots, I typically shoot with natural light 95% of the time. I'm usually shooting at golden hour, either, you know, the first couple hours after sunrise or the last couple hours before sunset. And I shoot in RAW in order to retain the maximum information in my file so that I can kind of maximize the dynamic range in post-processing. If you want to see kind of my process of editing photos like that, check out my video up above or in the description down below. For that last 5%, I use flash specifically for doing kind of like night scenes, kind of like this shot right here. So Barry from Toronto, Canada asked, my Fuji X-T3 with the X1 Pro trigger and Godox 865 flash, I can't seem to get it into manual. TTL works great, but I have some problems setting, not allowing me to go into manual. Can you help? So unfortunately, I don't use the Godox system for my off-camera flash at all. My off-camera flash system of choice is the Yongnuo flashes. I use the YN564 and the YN660s along with the 560TX trigger. So I don't really have any experience with any Godox off-camera triggers, so I can't really help you there. But if anyone has experience with the Godox system and you have a solution to Barry's problem, comment down below and help that guy out. So James from Australia asked, can you please do more Fujifilm lens comparisons? Yes. So I'm planning on it. I am actually going to be working on a 56 1.2 versus the 50 f2 blind test comparison video. So stay tuned for that. And Tony from the Philippines asks, what's the best camera setting for mobile edit? Because RAW is definitely not readable on my mobile phone. So I typically edit all my photos in RAW and on the computer in Lightroom. Even the photos that are on my Instagram. For those rare times that I do want to send some JPEGs to my phone, I usually use classic chrome, and I do use the color chrome effect, like probably set on weak, and I adjust the shadows and highlights to taste based on the photo, and then I send those over to my phone and edit them in ViscoCam if I want to do anything a little bit more. So Douglas from Union City asks, Reggie, do you use Capture One or Luminar for any of your post-processing workflow? If so, how often? No and no and never. I use Lightroom for all my post-processing for every single one of my images that have been shown on this channel. The only exception to using Lightroom is when I want to touch up or clone or fix something. That way I bring the photo into Photoshop, but I have never found any reason to change up my RAW processor at this point. Capture One fans, I'm super glad that you found something that you like to use, but please stop commenting asking me why I don't use Capture One, because I just don't. I'm good with Lightroom. So Bruno from Switzerland asks, what is your favorite Fuji prime lens for portraits? If you can only choose one. So if I could only choose one, it would probably be the 23mm 1.4. Just because that focal length is super versatile to do, you know, up close portraits, full scenes, or documentary work, weddings, or even just around the house with my kids. And I tend to deliver a lot of images that I personally like with the 23mm 1.4 to my clients. With that said, to be completely honest, my absolute favorite Fuji lens is the 16mm 1.4, but I don't really think that I can do a full entire session with just that lens, so I have to be a little bit conservative and just say I'd stick with the 23mm 1.4 if I had to choose just one lens. PR Film from San Francisco asks, can we work together on a video with our Fuji X-T3? I live in Vallejo and I'm always in SF. I actually grew up in Vallejo, so hell yeah, but let's see. So I'm totally down for working and collaborating with other content creators, but you know, I am a dad and I also have got client work, so I can't make any promises of how soon I can do that. What I can tell you is either send me a DM on Instagram or shoot me an email with the idea that you've got and we can kind of take it from there. And Kevin from New York asks, hey Reggie, congrats on 1000. What are some ways I can further develop photography, whether hobby or profession? So thanks for the congrats. My best tips for further developing your photography skills, whether you're a hobbyist or a professional, I'd say is to shoot in all manual, shoot in RAW, and edit your photos, and really make sure to learn what every single slider, knob, you name it, what they do specifically in your RAW processor of choice, and make sure to practice shooting and editing like as much as you can. If you already do all that, then the next step would really to be train your eye to be able to see and recognize light. And what I mean by this is to be able to come into a scene, analyze where the light's coming from, and be able to pose your subject or to frame up your landscape or cityscape shot to be able to accentuate the light intentionally. That will really step up your photography game and the photos that you create to like a whole nother level. Let's see. And last but not least, Jeff from San Francisco. What up, Jeff and MV? Jeff asks, how many subscribers do you want to have by the end of this year? So this is a really good question because my ultimate goal was to have 1000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we crushed that in the span of just like a little over 3 months. So that's crazy, but I would like to say, I guess my new goal is to have 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but if I don't meet that, I'd be satisfied if I at least have 5,000. So tell your friends, share this video, and let's get the subscriber number up there. All right, that wraps up the Q&A portion, and now on to what you've really been waiting for. The winner of my 1000 subscriber giveaway and the winner of the Anker PowerCore 10,000 PD is Theo Trujillo. Sorry if I'm butchering that, from Colorado. Crazy enough, Theo is actually also a YouTube content creator, and I actually was following his work way back like 2 years ago when I still had my Fuji X-T20. If you guys have an X-T20, you've probably seen one of his YouTube videos before. So head on over to his channel, give him a sub, and leave a comment in one of his videos asking him to do a review on his newly won Anker power bank. Congrats to Theo, and once again, thank you to all of you who entered this contest, who asked a question, and thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed and have supported the channel. You guys make it what it is, your ideas, your discussion. Thanks so much. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you have any additional questions for me, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm making new Fujifilm or photography videos every single week. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at ReggieBPhoto for a new photo every single day. Alright, that's it for me. Remember to get out, go shoot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.